Who wants to hear a shitty story? No one, but we're gonna tell it anyway because we read the whole thing, yeah. Welcome to the book club from hell.
All right. Part 4, Killing Stalking, chapters 31 through 40.
Of our no good, very bad book club.
Speed run.
Speed run. Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. You don't have to talk really fast.
My first note says Songwoo is big strong.
That's my second note. I said Songwoo legit is the Hulk.
Okay. So where we left off last time, they're fighting. Seungbae broke into his house like a fucking idiot and has been caught.
Without a warrant.
Without a fucking warrant.
That's very important. He doesn't have a warrant.
I'd like to reiterate again, he has searched this man's house twice with no fucking warrant.
Yeah. And he thinks he's gonna win an argument about arresting this man without a warrant.
Yeah, I don't know how he thinks this is gonna This man lives in a fucking fantasy world. He thinks he's goddamn Batman. He is not. You can't just do that shit. This is illegal, good sir.
Yeah. But so Songwoo went to stab him and he grabbed the knife instead or something, and then grabbed Songwoo and flipped him on the ground and was like, why would you use a knife if you don't even know how to use it? And I was like, how does Songwoo not know how to use a knife? It's just like you stab.
Yeah, you just stopped it.
You just stabby stab. You stopped it.
It's not that he was misusing it.
Yeah.
But yes, he gets on Songwoo's back, and Songwoo, I think just to show off, does a push-up.
Yeah. It's
there's no real reason he needs to.
It's part of the world building. In chapter 2 or whatever, chapter 3, we saw him do a push-up. He was doing push-ups.
There you
to
go.
practice.
It all comes back around. Everything comes back around in Killing Stalking. He does a one-arm push-up for no reason.
Yeah. No Deus Ex Machinas in this.
And then elbows him in the head. Yes, they did. They did foreshadow it when he was screaming at Boom and doing one-arm push-ups in the basement.
But yeah, so the police officer tries to tase him, and then Songwoo, I'm like, okay, you think that a dude who's gonna power through doing a one-armed push-up is gonna be stopped by a taser, and also he punched your wrist so hard that he broke it. Or whatever the fuck he did to his wrist.
Yeah, no, he is kind of a Superman. He's super, he's huge, first of all. He's fucking ginormous. In this chapter, normally we see him next to Boom, who we understand is a really tiny person.
Yeah.
In this chapter, we see him next to, other normal men, and he's still huge. He's a giant guy.
He's like a Chris Evans kind of big,
yeah, he's huge.
Chris Evans doing, an Avengers movie kind of big.
Yeah.
It's super weird.
And you've got, this tiny little bitch taser, but...
Yeah. But the
works.
taser, it works. He tases him so hard that he passes out.
Again, this is probably all pretty illegal, since you did break into his house.
Yeah.
It was breaking and entering.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
There must be, a standard ground law that applies to this. I don't think you can legally tase him until he passes out, but you have done it.
He does, and then he puts him in the police car, or he gets the other police to put him in the police car, and they don't cuff him.
No. He calls the other police officer, and he goes, I got him.
Yeah.
Bitch, who? You got fucking who? Nobody sent you after anybody. You ain't even at work right now. I got him? Are you serious, bro?
But they got him.
Do that.
They got him, and they don't cuff him. Even though he's passed out, they're like, we don't need cuffs.
Out.
Yeah, but he's gonna wake up, and he's in the back of a police car.
Yeah. No, they just throw him in the back of the car. They don't do shit.
Yeah, whatever.
This is all of this has been very unprofessional. For the record. This is the most terribly handled arrest.
Even by, American standards, this is pretty bad.
Yeah, no, this is pretty fucking stupid. They walk into the police station, they just throw him somewhere.
Yeah, he doesn't have shoes on.
They're tossing him all over the place. This is absurd. And then a guy walks up to Seungbae, and he's like, why is that guy all beat up? What happened? And Seungbae goes, I'm a police officer. Sir, you said the quiet part out loud here. Police officer is not supposed to intrinsically mean, I'm gonna beat the shit out of anyone for no reason.
But also, they didn't know he was a police officer. They just kind of assumed that a civilian would have handcuffs for non-sexy reasons. Because he's handcuffed at this point.
Citizen's arrest.
It's a pretty fucked up situation. He's a police officer, but no one at the precinct he goes to knows that he's a police officer.
Yeah, I don't know what precinct he's taking him to, because this is apparently not the one he works in.
I think it's the one that's investigating the murder of that girl.
Yeah, once again, this is not even his job. It's not in his, like, jurisdiction, like, he's never been assigned to it, nobody asked him to investigate this, he randomly decided. He saw this guy on the street and was like, "He's fucked up, I think he did it."
Yeah.
And then he broke into his house, beat the shit out of him, and dragged him here.
The only thing that's in his jurisdiction is Songwoo, where he lives.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. You have nothing else. Like, he lives in the section of the city that you patrol. Maybe.
And then even the other cops are like, "I think this is police brutality. Like, I don't think you're allowed to arrest that guy, and you beat the shit out of him with no warrant."
Yeah.
Like,
and when they get Boom in there, Boom is also shoeless and cuffed, even though he's a witness.
oh my god, okay. I have a lot of comments about the treatment of Boom in these few chapters, and I know I talked about this last time as well, but like it cuts back to the cop trying to get Boom to come to the station. First of all, you can't make him come to the station if he doesn't want to come to the station. Like, as a witness, you can't do that.
He
didn't commit a crime. You're not arresting him. You can't make him come.
You can only do that if he's a suspect in the
which
crime,
he's
which
not.
he's not at this point.
Like, what the fuck? And then they drag him in. They've got, like, his arm twisted behind his back. He's got no shoes on. Like, this is absurd. Like, this is legitimately police brutality. Like, you can't do that to some random guy. They squeeze his wrist so hard it starts bleeding again. Like, you can't do that.
Dumb counterpoint, because I just noticed my next bullet points on, like, the fact that they're dragging Boom in there. I got mad because there was no evidence. Like, I was like, there's no evidence. Like, he was explaining his case. It's like, there's no evidence to prove anything right now. And then he mentions the bruises on Boom's legs. And I was like, oh, actually, the leg bruises are, like, some kind of half solid evidence. Why didn't you lead with that? So
yeah, that's sort of legitimate.
Could you force Boom to be there as evidence? Like, he's just evidence.
That's a good question. I actually don't know that.
I think you would have to take pictures, right?
You know, I don't know what the legal precedent is for that, but I think you would have to bring pictures. I don't think you could force him to come in.
Yeah.
I also don't know that you could force him to, like, I don't know if you could force him to act as evidence, even. Like, I don't know that you're allowed to do that without his consent.
I think,
like,
you can take pictures, at least, on, like, American crime shows. They take pictures at, like, stakeouts and shit, and, like, when they're casing places all the time, and those are, like, I don't know if they're ever credible evidence in a court of law, but, like, they use it to further the investigation, at least, you know? So you can take pictures of whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, but that's not what they try. They also don't try to reason with him, even. They're just like, come on, and they drag him out here. Insane.
They don't even explain where they're going, like, they just force him into this police station where he has terrible memories, like PTSD-inducing memories.
Yeah, that's the other thing I was about to say. I don't know how it couldn't occur to you. Like, if you're in a profession where you deal regularly with abuse victims, which I am, because I do teaching, usually with at-risk populations, and I assume a police officer would be, I don't know how it wouldn't occur to you that, one, it's super, super possible that somebody with a history of abuse has bad experiences with the police that could contribute to a hesitancy to report or a distrust of the cops.
Yeah.
Or a bad reaction to coming into the station. Or two, that he could have some kind of attachment to an abuser that would cause him to want to be near him instead of the police, who he clearly doesn't trust. Like, I don't know how this would not, like, logically occur to you. These are understandable, predictable reactions that he's having.
Which, it's interesting in Boom's case because his first abuser is someone that he does not want to be around at all.
Yeah.
But his second one, he does, because Songwoo is someone he liked before he started getting abused by him.
Yes. Also, Songwoo goes out of his way to be manipulative about it. Like, he goes out of his way afterward to be like, I just really care about you.
The uncle has the, like, classic manipulation track where he just yells, like, sad truths at him, like
yells and screams and threatens.
Songwoo lies.
Yeah, he does. He lies to him all the time, and abusers do that.
Yeah.
So I don't know why you would think that's not a possibility. He's like, why would he want to be near him? Because he's fucking lying to him. Like,
yeah.
Anyway. So that's stupid.
Yeah.
The cops are fucking stupid in this. And then fucking Seungbae stands up in front of everybody and he's like, everything is about to be revealed.
Yeah.
Like, what are you revealing? Your zero evidence and your incomprehensible witness?
Yeah.
Like,
and
what do you think is gonna happen?
Songwoo undermines all of that with, like, the smartest thing I'd ever heard him fucking say. Like
300 IQ plays.
I was like, "Oh my god." He was on the level
There's this great
of, like
there's a great bit in here where Seungbae is like, unfortunately there is no evidence,
Yeah.
but I bet we could find some.
And then he points out the legs, and that's why I was like, "That's evidence, you idiot." Like
That's your only evidence, in
Yeah.
fact.
But he was like, "There's no evidence." But I was like, that's a fucking evidence. Like, you're supposed to fucking you're not a police officer." Like
But then Songwoo speaks up,
Mhm.
and he's like, "Oh, this guy arrested me, but I thought he was
Boom's ex-boyfriend.
Yeah.
Which is
300 IQ play.
incredible. That's like the
That is a
best thing
great
you could
lie
say in that
in this
situation.
situation. Because first of all, okay, this does a few things. This does a few great things.
Mhm.
One, it lends credibility to the lie that he's going to tell later.
Yes.
Second, it completely justifies his reaction to somebody breaking into his house. And third, it completely justifies all of Boom's weird, freaky behavior and injuries.
He got all of that in one lie. I was like one sentence of a lie. I was like, "Holy crap, dude." Like
My man's playing like 4D chess. Seungbae is nowhere near his level. He's up there, man. He's big brain. He's got like the galaxy brain shit going on there. And fucking Seungbae's a fucking monkey.
Yeah.
Like
But that's chapter 31. Chapter 32.
Oh, we're breezing through this.
Yeah.
We're doing great.
Well, that took 12 minutes, but
No, we're doing great. Boom also does not grasp the concept of lying.
No,
like,
he
says
doesn't.
this,
Oh my
and Boom
God.
is like, huh? That's not true.
And Songwoo knows this too. Like Songwoo's like, "This fucking idiot is only gonna tell the truth all the time." Like he can't follow.
He's such a fucking moron. Boom has no brain at all, but that's okay. You know, it's okay to be stupid.
He's got like a walnut in there.
It's okay to have a walnut in your head.
It's
okay because you're tiny and, you know, like,
Yeah.
you're tiny and cute. It's okay.
I was mostly like amazed at Songwoo for the beginning chunk of this chapter. I was like, "Holy crap, like I cannot believe he's like pulling this off." And then I was also like, "I can't believe I'm rooting for Songwoo because I hate the cop so much." But like
Me too.
I just
was
wish
like, they're
Boom
just
wasn't
so
there.
bad. I just hate them. I'm like
I was like, if Boom
I
wasn't
was like,
here, this
"Get
would
him!
be ideal.
Get him!" Like,
Oh,
I think I legit wrote a note down that says Songwoo's story is completely reasonable because Seungbae has been acting like a fucking psycho the whole time.
Songwoo pulls like the most incredible line where he calls Seungbae a stalker. I was like, "Oh my god, another stalker has entered the chat."
Oh,
Like,
he's top tier. Yeah, no, he's like, I don't know, I've seen this guy stalking around my house. I just assumed it was the boyfriend that used to beat Boom up.
yeah.
Like,
I was like, "Holy
I
crap."
thought he might go away if I just, you know, let him snoop around.
Yeah. Oh.
But when he found him in my house, I freaked out.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, well.
Songwoo's on a roll, and then Officer Dipshit is like, "Yeah, well, I've got this dash cam evidence," and it cuts to Songwoo's face, and I'm like, I couldn't believe it. It was like I saw his face, and I was shitting. Like it just looks so stupid. Like, I'm shitting, and so is Songwoo.
Officer Dipshit also like hits him when he starts talking, which again, you can't. He's handcuffed.
You can't do that. You can't
do this. He's like, "But I have this dash cam footage of fucking nothing."
Yeah, nothing's on the dash cam because it's raining or whatever, and it's all blurry and fuzzy. And...
There's a great bit in here too, where Songwoo, when he's initially telling the story, he's like, "He's in my house without a warrant." Like he just like keeps on hammering it home.
Oh god, yeah. There's nothing on the dash cam. Boom is still cuffed, and I'm still confused as to why he has cuffs on.
These are terrible, terrible cops. And then it just now occurs to him, you know, like he sees Boom and he's like, everything's riding on whether he testifies or whatever. And then he kind of reaches for Songwoo and he's like, is he being threatened? And I was like, how is it just now occurring to you that he could be threatened?
Because he's a terrible cop. He's a terrible
how is that
cop.
not your first fucking thought? Like, are you joking? Are you fucking joking?
Yeah, and he starts asking Boom questions like, "What's your name? Blah blah blah." And he's like, "What's your relationship with this guy? Are you two living together?" And Boom doesn't know how to answer. And Songwoo says, he's like, "I'm sure you've already noticed, but we're dating." And I was like, oh my god, I was so caught up in the euphoria of that reveal that I momentarily lived in a world where homophobia didn't exist, because I was like, oh my god, he just said that they're dating, but then I remembered like they're gay in a real world. It's like,
Yeah,
oh god.
no, they're real people gay and not like bohemian hoo-ha
Yeah.
rent gay.
I was like, oh shit. Wait, he just said they're dating in a like precinct full of dude cops. I was like, uh-oh.
But it's all part of the plan.
Yeah, it's
But
part
it's
of the
all
plan.
part of the plan because now he can frame this as a homophobic arrest, which he does.
He does.
He's a fucking genius. He also says we're dating, and it cuts to Boom like, we're dating?
Yeah. I was like, God, Boom, shut the fuck up.
I was like, I love this moron. He's so stupid. He's like, I had no idea.
Boom has like a whole like internal conflict over that. He's like, what? Dating? Is that what we do?
He's like,
I guess we're dating.
It's literally the same energy as that first chapter when Songwoo kissed him while he was like beating the shit out of him. And he was like, kiss?
Yeah.
Like, one track mind. I love him. Good for you, kid.
So yeah, Seungbae starts asking them like questions like, where do you go for dates? Could like anybody corroborate this? And it cuts to them like burying the body. And I was like, wait a minute, like the inn lady could totally like vouch for them.
She could totally vouch for them, but she doesn't have to because Songwoo can just pull the like, we're in the closet and nobody knows about it card, which also works to explain we're secretive about everything.
Yeah.
Again, this is a brilliant lie. This is the smartest thing he will do in the entire series.
And Boom's still out of it. He's still like, oh my god, Songwoo and I are dating. I was like, get your fucking head in the game, Boom. Like,
no, he cannot get his head. His head is so far out of the game.
And then Songwoo decides, you know what'll help? I'll give him a kiss. I'm like, you just scrambled his brain so hard.
Yeah, you just made scrambled eggs out of his brain. There's this great bit too when Seungbae keeps hitting them with questions and Songwoo gives him like a gay rights lecture. Like he's like, our life is just like everybody else.
You're like, if you say so.
He also takes credit for doing the cooking at home, by the way. In this monologue, he's like, I'm good at cooking, so we have dates at home. Like, you fucking liar. Like you make Boom cook for you all the time. Like, you're just being an asshole now. Like,
yeah.
You just know he's too out of it to argue with you. But yeah, Boom is so obviously fucked up that everybody's still kind of like, ugh.
Yeah, they're like, how do we prove this? How do we prove this? And then Seungbae has a brilliant idea, and they're going to play the Newlyweds game.
They are going to play the Newlywed game, which... Again, I don't think you're allowed. Like, I don't think that's admissible evidence or something you're allowed to make them do.
It isn't evidence, but I have seen it used, I think, in NCIS. But I don't think it was, like, the last thing they did.
Yeah, no, it just seems really strange.
Yeah.
There's also, so kisses Boom to get him to calm the fuck down.
Yeah.
Again, bad plan. But then Seungbae goes, what the hell are those things doing? Which I don't think helps your I'm not homophobic case.
No. No.
I think all you've really done is corroborate his story that you are harassing them because they're gay.
Yeah.
You can't say that.
Songwoo is completely believable. Yeah, they're gonna play Newlyweds.
Yeah, they drag them apart and they're like, answer these questions about each other and your relationship. But 600 IQ play, again, from Songwoo.
And it's like, you don't know how long they've been dating, and one of the questions is like birthday and zodiac sign. It's like, look, I don't know how dating culture is in Korea, but like that's not exactly like the first thing everybody asks, Yeah,
no, I would actually think it's a little bit weird. I don't know anybody's zodiac sign except like mine and my sister's.
Do you know mine?
Like, I don't remember.
Oh shit, I know yours.
Oh no! That's because mine's cool.
No, that's just because I found out during the time when I would look at everybody's shit on Tumblr, so I just know.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, there's like questions about his family and stuff too. I was like, if they're a closeted gay couple, he might not know that.
Yeah,
like it would actually make perfect sense for him to not know that.
Location of first date, where we first met. Song was like, shit, if I write in my basement.
Which is not even where they met.
No,
but he doesn't
I was like,
remember.
You met in the fucking army, dum-dum.
You were in the same army, like, platoon, and you were in the same college classes, but you just didn't notice him either time.
Yeah. I was like, I came up with the perfect solution for this. Before the chapter ended, I was like, both of you should have just drawn dicks for every answer.
Honestly,
that would have worked.
That would have been a vibe. No, but Song was like, I don't know, like, I have a good memory, but Boom's memory is really not very good. And because Boom looks like he's got a walnut brain, which he does. Everybody's like, well.
Maybe, yeah. Chapter 33, it starts with Boom actually using his fucking walnut brain for once. He gains 2 brain cells because with that comment from Song-woo where he's like, "Oh, I don't know, Boom doesn't really he has a bad memory." Boom elects to change all his answers that are important to, "I don't really remember."
Yeah, which genius.
Yeah, like,
Genius. Again.
good enough for you.
It's what he deserves. For Boom, that's like a top tier play. That's like one of the smartest things Boom has done in his whole goddamn life.
Yeah. But Seungbae is still, like, doubtful about this, like, relationship, his condition, because he makes a comment about Bum's like, he's like, "Just looking at Yoon Bum, the way he's dressed, like, he looks like, he's in trouble." I was like, "Bum is dressed exactly the same as Songwoo right now. They're both in a white top and black shorts because you dragged them here shoeless and in their, like, PJs, basically."
Yeah, out of their house.
Yeah.
Like
So they look the same. I don't know what you're talking about, police dude.
they're just wearing like around the house clothes.
Yeah.
It's really not that weird. Like Boom looks like he has a walnut brain because he has a walnut brain.
Yeah.
It's not because he's dressed weird or anything.
But then they decide they're gonna send Boom home, but keep Songwoo.
Yeah.
And
I don't know that you can keep Songwoo here, but they do.
yeah, you can in America you can keep a suspect for it's like a certain amount of hours. I don't think it's 48. I think it might be 48, but it's like a certain set time, like amount of hours you can keep a suspect without solid evidence, you can use that time to go out and find evidence, which is really not great.
Yeah, you shouldn't be allowed to do that, but okay.
Yeah, that's one of the most critiqued, like, episodes. There's 2 episodes where that tactic is used or, like, similar tactics are used in Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and people really point to that one a
Yeah,
lot.
I remember that. And people were like, "Hey, that's not
Not
you
great.
shouldn't do that." Also, Seungbae has completely fucked over his friend on this as well because
Yeah,
he got
yeah.
his friend to like get involved in it even though it's nonsense, which
Yeah.
just a dick move.
Yeah. The friend brings Boom back to the house.
I have a note here. I have a note on their conversation when the friend is like, "Oh, you're such a moron. Like you made me look like an idiot, and this is a really big problem."
Mhm.
And Seungbae's like, "Oh, you might still get promoted." Like this bastard. Like he only cares about his career. I fucking hate him. I hate him
Yeah.
so much. Like I can't stand this guy. Anyway, yeah, the guy brings Boom home.
Yeah, the friend brings Boom home, or, like, the fellow police officer, because he's like I think he's an actual detective.
Yeah.
I don't know how this works because, like, I'm pretty sure in America, cops can make arrests based on the
Yeah.
things that Seungbae is doing, but it's implied here that you have to be a detective to do that, and I don't know if it's just a translation error and, like, Seungbae is actually just like a, like, community patrol kinda guy, you know?
Yeah, if he's not like a real cop.
Yeah. But, uh either way, like, Seungbae doesn't have the authority to do the things that the friend can do, and that's why the friend is the one taking the
He's
fall.
taking credit for this arrest,
Yeah.
which has just fucked him over because it's a terrible arrest that nobody should have made.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, Seungbae tells him to go home with Boom and like take a bunch of stuff from their house, which you also can't
Yeah,
do.
and it's not even stuff from their house, it's Boom's spit hair, and, I was like, it's his spit
Some
and
of the
his
shit off
hair.
the floor.
Yeah, and a little bit of shit on the floor, and, I was like, "Why do you need his hair and spit when you already have his blood on your precinct floor?" Because when they came in initially, the cuts had
Yeah, he was bleeding.
reopened, and he was bleeding all over the floor. I was like, "You can just take something from that, and it'll match the blood even better." Like, because I'm assuming they're trying to match the blood on the floor to something on Boom.
Yeah, also, hey, here's more things.
Mm.
Here's more fucking things. I know neither of you clearly care at all about Boom's consent on anything, but I don't think you could just take stuff off of him. Like, I don't think you could do that. I don't think a cop can walk up to you and, like, stick a fucking Q-tip in your mouth and take your spit. Like, I don't think
No.
they don't think they have the authority to do that.
You can
or to
take
rip your hair off of your fucking head.
You
Like-
you can take evidence from a crime scene or you can take evidence with a warrant, but you can't take it off the body without, like, a solid warrant.
Yeah, like you cannot do that. There is nothing admissible about that. And also just a dick move to just yank his
Yeah.
hair off of his head and not like cut a little bit off if you have to
Yeah.
take it.
They just yanked
Like,
it like
ouch,
fucking
what a terrible
Willy
what a
Wonka.
mean thing to do.
You know that scene in Willy Wonka where he's, like, caressing the kid's head and then he just, like, yanks out a piece of hair?
Yeah, like what
It was like that.
you can't you guys are so mean. I hate the cops.
Yeah.
Like
Well, it's okay because
Leave this
then
man alone.
we have another bait and switch coming up.
Oh my god. Oh my god. So then his fucking okay, I have a lot of issues with this. I have a lot of do you want to talk about what happens here?
I can
I'll then go on a tirade.
Yeah, I'll explain what happens. So Boom's uncle shows up because supposedly the police contacted him and said, "Hey, Boom's here. Like, you're the contact, so like come get him because he's here." And Boom runs back into the house because he was outside. He runs into the house, but the uncle makes it in. And the uncle tries to sexually assault him again, but Boom fights him off.
Again.
Boom fights him off, and he like threatens to stab him because he makes it into the kitchen and grabs a knife. Even though the uncle had already pulled down his pants, his ass was out. He made it to the kitchen. He grabbed a knife. He's like, "I'm gonna stab you if you get closer." And the uncle is like, "Okay, all right. I guess I'll just go," because Boom slashes at his hand, and he's like, "I'll just leave. It's fine. I'll leave, but you have to come with me at some point." And then Boom gets really sad about Songwoo not being there. He wants Songwoo to save him and like sniffs one of Songwoo's shirts.
Yes.
Would you like me to explain further?
No, I want to cover this issue real quick. Boom is a 30-year-old man.
Yes.
First of all, I don't know why you'd have to call anybody about where he is. He's a grown man.
Exactly.
Like, who lives on his own. There is no circumstance in which you need to call his family and tell them that he was brought into this precinct. You don't. You did not need to do that. Also, if you think it's possible, like even just a possibility that this is a closeted gay man trying to lay low that he's living with his boyfriend, you could put him in so much danger doing that, even if you didn't know he has a history of being abused, which, regardless of which story you believe, is true. Like,
right. But here's the thing. Surprise, surprise, it wasn't real. The uncle never showed up.
Yeah. I wasn't clear on whether the uncle wasn't real or if it was just Songwoo that wasn't real.
No, the uncle. Wait, why wouldn't Songwoo be real?
He thinks he falls asleep
with
Songwoo's jacket in his hands.
Oh,
and
right.
Then
He thinks
dreams that Songwoo comes home.
Yeah, but so no, the uncle isn't real because there's no blood on the floor when he wakes up. There's no blood on the floor.
Right.
There's no blood on the floor in the dream, but there's also no blood on the floor when he wakes up. But also the biggest tell for me was like right after he slashed at the uncle and the uncle left and it cut to the knife, there was no blood on the knife.
Right.
I was like, oh,
so now he's just losing it too.
Yeah. So
I was like, I remember
wakes
the
up
first
and there's
time
no blood.
I read it, I thought the uncle wasn't there, and then the second time I thought he was, and then the third time I was like, I have no idea.
Yeah, you have to look at because there's no blood on the floor in the dream where he thinks like Songwoo is knocking on the door, and then he wakes up again. And it shows the floor, but it doesn't emphasize like the spot on the floor like it did in the dream. But there is no blood on the floor at all. So
very good, very good. So I hate the cops slightly less, but I still hate them.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been out of character. I would have believed it.
Well, the fact that Boom thinks they did it is like enough, you know?
Yeah, poor Boom.
So
there's also, I want to point out, just for the sake of being nice, because I do occasionally say nice things about stuff I like, and I do actually really like this comic. There's an expression when the uncle tries to grab the knife out of his hands in the dream, and I was like, ooh, top tier.
Yeah. Yeah.
He looks so horrified. I was like, oh, this artist went all in. Good for you.
Yeah.
Once again, the art in this is really good for something that in and of itself is just like fucking insane to put any effort into.
At the end of the chapter, because it's actually the policeman that shows up at the house, not Songwoo. He's banging on the door, the police officer friend, and he wants Boom to come back to the precinct. And he tells him in the car, he's like, Songwoo confessed to everything today. And I was like, you can't. I thought they were like doing like a trick, you know? Like they're like, oh,
they are.
Yeah, they are. But the thing is that really confused me, and it happens in chapter 34. He says that Songwoo confessed to everything, and he mentions that Boom, like Songwoo says that Boom killed one of the girls, and I was like, how would they know that or think to say that if Songwoo didn't actually confess?
I thought the same thing the first time I read this. I was like, wait, what? I also made a note there when he says Songwoo confessed to everything. Like, this is the oldest trick in the book, but unfortunately Boom is a fucking moron.
It's the oldest trick in the book that you're not allowed to do. Like, you can
you are fucking not. Once again, none of this is admissible. You can't do anything.
Another thing covered in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. You can lie to the suspect, but they have to confess for like for you to not get in trouble, you know?
Yeah,
Like it's a
no.
huge gamble to do that. And like you should not do that at all.
I also have a note when they're dragging him back into the station that says Boom looks like a giraffe, which I mean I just feel the need to reiterate because he does. But anyway.
That's
yes. So they're lying to Boom.
Yeah.
That Songwoo confessed everything.
Yeah.
And Seungbae comes in and is like, he said you killed this girl.
Yeah. Which is insane.
So you have to, and I guess what he's going for is like, he's accusing you, so you have to tell us everything. But it's also true.
It's also true, which confused me a lot. I was like, how did they get it? I thought it was a trick. Was it not a trick? Like, did Songwoo actually spill the beans? I was like,
yeah, I think they're just trying to get him to like argue and tell his own version of events.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But like, it's crazy. It's crazy that they fucking guessed that. That's nuts.
Yeah, and Boom doesn't know what to say, so all he does is he keeps saying, "I want to see Songwoo," and I was like, somehow you used the wrong formula, but you got the correct answer.
Yeah, honestly, that's what you should do. If somebody advice to our audience, if the cops are trying to like pressure you into confessing to someone, I want to see my lawyer, like, is probably the only thing you should say.
It really is. Don't even, like, you can't really pull what Boom is doing and saying you want to see the other person because they'll still use that against you too. But if you just keep saying,
yeah, but don't say shit. Just be like, I want to talk to my lawyer.
Yeah, and you have to
don't tell the cops anything.
You have to be fully explicit with it too. You have to say like, I'm not saying anything until you get me my lawyer, which is a right as an American citizen or something like that. Like there's a specific phrase.
I will not talk without my lawyer.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Also, okay, Seungbae gets him in this room and he's like, he confessed everything and he's saying you killed someone and you gotta tell us what's going on here. And Boom is like, and he's like, listen to my story. And he tells him like his whole backstory. Like, I was like, this man's an abuse victim, not your fucking therapist.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
Oh God.
You're wasting, first of all the limited time that you have with him to try to like get information out of him. And second of all, like, why would you say this to him?
Yeah, he tells a story about his dad getting killed by a neighbor that he had lent a golf club to, and I was like, why are we doing this? Like, also, why did the neighbor, like, Seungbae's dad lends a like golf club that Seungbae had bought for him to a neighbor, and the neighbor doesn't want to give it back and keeps saying that it's his own golf club and like lying. I was like, why is neighbor doing
What's
this?
What's wrong with this guy? What's his damage?
It's like, what the fuck?
It's just a really weird story.
Yeah.
And he keeps going on about it. He's like talking to Boom. He's like, I'm a victim too. I was like, a victim of fucking what?
Yeah.
Crime by proxy?
Crime by proxy.
You didn't get murdered. Like, you're fine.
But there's this moment outside of the backstory, like blah, 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 where Seungbae says, in reference to Ji-yoon, I think, he says, she's been missing and we think Songwoo did it. And I said, well, why don't you go check the place where you found the other bodies? Because they found other bodies. Because he literally just puts them all in the same place like an idiot. Like, just go check where he buried the first one.
Yeah, no, he does bury them all there. I would just continue searching that area.
Yeah.
They really overestimated how smart he was gonna be, huh?
Yeah, they're like, oh, we think this other girl is missing and we think that Songwoo did it. It's like, well, if you want to know, just go check where he buries victims. Like, because she's probably there. Which she is.
Okay. Another fucking comment on this. Why would you show him crime scene photos? First of all, I'm not sure you're allowed to do that. And second of all, fucking again, whether you believe Songwoo's telling the truth or you believe Seungbae's batshit story, which Seungbae does.
Yeah.
In either case, Boom is the victim. Like, Boom is a traumatized person. Like, why would you be throwing pictures of dead fucking bodies in front of him? Like, what the fuck do you think you're doing? Like, you're just harassing. You legitimately are just harassing him.
You are.
Like,
I know in crime procedurals they'll show crime scene photos to like shock them into like saying something, but that's still not a valid.
It's
confession.
Not ethical. Like, you can't. It's not like the right way to handle a fucking like, you can't do that. You can't squeeze a confession out of him, first of all. That's not admissible. But second of all, like, it's just not right. Like, you just can't do that. And then there's this weird cutaway. Like, Seungbae's like, listen, this guy does not care about you, which is true.
Oh yeah,
He's like,
he was
this
dropping
guy doesn't
like
care
truth
about
bombs.
you. This guy will kill you if you stay there. Again, true. But then it cuts to Songwoo and he's in the police car like banging on the window at a butterfly?
Yeah, there's
like,
a butterfly. I was like, where'd the butterfly come from? What
I
is
need
he
a
doing?
butterfly. Like, I was like, for what reason?
Because the butterfly is free and he is not.
I know, he's like, I gotta get that thing. Like my goddamn cat. But okay. But Seungbae is, to be fair, all of what he's saying is true. He is saying it for no reason. Like, he has no reason to believe this is the case. He has no evidence of any of this. And if he's wrong, he's literally just like harassing this guy for no reason.
Yeah.
Re-traumatizing him for no reason.
Yeah. And Boom starts like spouting trauma speak because he's like, officer, could you kiss someone like me? Could you sleep with someone like me? Could you get angry on my behalf? And I'm like, oh God. Like, he's like,
it's so sad. He like triggers something and Boom is like, I'm so disgusting that this is the only person that could possibly care about me.
And you're like, oh,
you're like, ah!
no.
You're like, who could have predicted that this is what you would activate by doing all of that?
Oh God, us.
The fact that you've made him feel safer with his literal abuser than you.
Yeah.
Who could have predicted?
But that's chapter 34. Chapter 35.
I hate the fucking cops. I hate the fucking cops. All this is doing is reactivating my hatred of the fucking cops.
Oh, chapter 35 starts with Seungbae like yelling at Boom, like in his face.
Oh my God. I was like, yeah, you know what will probably help him? You know what will probably earn his trust is like fucking yelling at him.
Yeah.
Probably yelling at him.
Oh,
that'll
God.
help.
And he still doesn't have shoes
manhandle
on.
him too. Go ahead, manhandle him.
He still
While
doesn't have
you're at
shoes
it.
on. They brought him home and brought him back, and he doesn't have shoes on.
Like, come on, man. You didn't even let him get dressed or nothing.
No, yeah, but
So he screams at Boom.
Yeah.
Because he's a psycho.
And then he decides the best course of action is to go outside to the car where he's keeping Songwoo.
Yeah, again, why isn't he in a holding cell? Why is he in a fucking squad car?
I bet they don't have one there.
He's been there all night.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
At the very least, get him in like a chair.
Yeah.
Like...
Nope, he's in the squad car. And Seungbae pulls him out of the car, and we get Songwoo fan service for some reason. His like shirt pulls up. And then he starts like beating up Songwoo. And like his old captain comes out and is like, the fuck, Seungbae? Like, what are you doing?
Like, you can't just beat people up. Like,
Yeah.
even if he's a suspect, you can't just walk out and beat his ass. Like, it's
regardless
not allowed.
of the fact that this old captain is the one that knows Songwoo, like on a family personal level, because he dealt with the case where his parents died. Regardless of that, you can't, like, he's right. You can't just beat up like a suspect. It's not allowed.
No, you absolutely, and especially he's handcuffed.
Yeah.
Like, you can't do anything about it. He could, but he's not going to.
No.
Most people couldn't, though.
No. Yeah, Songwoo could have taken him down.
Oh, and Songwoo pulls out some of that good ass acting too. He works up a goddamn shiver. He's like,
Oh, yeah.
Help me! He's beating me up. It's great.
And then
it's
he's like, I'll let this go for 30 million won.
I was like, oh, zag on him.
Well, I'm assuming, yeah,
grift.
it's he does say won, so it's like $30,000. I'm like, that's not enough.
No, it really isn't. It's actually not much.
Yeah, no.
For if this were a real case, I'd be like, no, go for the 30 million.
Yeah.
Go for $30 million. Like,
I would be like at least $1 million, if not multiple millions, because you've been
I have
beat
a
up.
note that says suing the cops for homophobia is a vibe I can get behind.
Oh yeah. Even if it's not real, like,
good for you.
Go for it.
You know, I bet Seungbae's homophobic too.
I bet
so
he
you
is.
might as well. I bet he
does. He did go to that gay bar, but I can't. Like, I couldn't quite pull the vibes from him of like what he felt.
No,
there,
I couldn't get the vibe either.
He wasn't disgusted, but he wasn't like into it. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe he's gay and homophobic.
He's gay and homophobic. Anyway, Songwoo manages to get a promise out of the cops that they'll restrain Seungbae from coming near him.
Yeah.
And gives up on the 30 million won.
Yeah. Which is sad.
Is a good move. It's a good move.
It's a good
but
move,
I wish he had taken it. I wish he had done it. Wish he'd squeezed him.
But Songwoo was saved by the power of networking because he knew that old cop, and the old cop is like, we'll take care of it.
Yeah.
And then he's like really affectionate to Boom, and I couldn't tell if it was like real or not, you know?
I think they're okay. I'm putting my Killing Stalking fucking understander cap on.
Mm-hmm.
My Killing Stalking understander cap. I think Songwoo to an extent does like Boom, or at least likes having a relationship with him.
Yeah. He likes having him around.
So there are times where I think his affection is sincere.
Yeah.
It's just not like nice, you know?
Yeah.
Do you grasp what I mean? It's not permanent and it's not nice.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about like Boom's feelings, but he likes having Boom there.
Yeah. He likes having him around, and he likes being able to do whatever he wants to Boom.
Exactly.
But yeah, he shows, like, a little bit of affection at the precinct, like, he hugs him, and he's like, "Oh my god, whatever, like, you're here." And then they are sent home, and,
This is top 10 wildest conversations they've ever had. They get to the fucking porch, and he's like, "I'm gonna beat your ass."
And I was like, "Outside? In front of the police that you just escaped from?"
Yes. I know, he's like, "I'm gonna beat your ass," and Boom is like, "Should we maybe go inside for that?"
And then he's like, "No."
Like, he's the one trying to cover them.
He's like, "You don't understand. I'm going to beat your ass." And then he whips out his dick.
Oh yeah, no, they gonna fuck on the door.
Yeah.
And Boom is still like, "We should still probably go inside."
Oh god.
Probably we should still go inside, though. Like, he just keeps being like, "Can we go in?
Oh
Can we
god.
go in?"
He's like fucking in
There's
the
this-
doggy style against the door, but he just
There's a great
shoves
line
it.
in there where Boom is like, "Can we go inside?" And someone was like, "I am inside." I was
Oh
like,
god.
"That's pretty good. That's pretty
It's
good."
very funny.
Mic drop.
But
That was pretty good.
He just shoves it in.
He just shoves right in there. I do have a note in all caps that says, "Please learn about lube."
Mine's also in all caps. It says lube, Songwoo lube.
He can't do it. You can't do
He
that.
breaks
Like, Boom's
skin.
gonna die.
That's
They do break
super
skin.
dangerous.
It's horrible.
That's
It
so
sounds
dangerous.
so ouchy.
It's not
He's gonna
just
catch like he's gonna get like an infection.
yeah. It's
if
yeah.
You keep doing
that's
that.
exactly why. Because it's not just ouchy. It's dangerous because you could get infected, and that's not great down there.
Like he does also shit there. Like you can't have an open wound in there. It's not good for him. Like this isn't good.
Yeah, so they're fucking on the porch.
There's this great bit where they're fucking against the door, and Boom wants to go inside, so he keeps hitting the like keypad to open the door, but he can't get the right passcode because he's getting fucked on the door.
But he finally does, and they make it inside, still sheathed.
Yeah, no, it's pretty incredible. They walk into like the inside little divot where you leave your shoes.
Yeah.
You know? They're fucking in the shoe divot.
He flips him over. They're missionary now, but oh god.
There's this really weird exchange where Boom keeps being like, "I really like you," and Songwoo's like, "Stop." Like he can't accept any affection from Boom. I also wrote down, would have been crazy if the police rolled around and they were just like boning on the porch.
It would have proven their story.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, maybe this was just yet another 500 IQ play. He was like, "You know what will corroborate?"
Oh god. But he pulls out and splooges all over Boom's face. And it's just
yeah, I mean, and Boom's like, "Okay."
Boom didn't even get to come.
I know he was about to, and then he was like, "No, I'm just gonna splooge on you."
Yeah.
Sorry.
Ugh.
Because he says he's gonna, and then Songwoo's like, "Whoop, no, you're not, bitch." What else do I have written down? Oh my god, there's a bit where like mid-fuck, right? He says something like, if you keep screaming like that, the cops are gonna come back around. And he's like, "I don't like the police. They're scary." I was like, yeah, they were.
Yeah.
Like, they were horrible to you. I'd be scared of them too. Fuck.
Yeah.
But yes, they fuck.
Yeah.
It ends on "few," which is hilarious.
Yeah.
Whew.
And then it's chapter 36. We start
Now we're coming in.
Yeah, chapter 36 where we get backstory, I think.
This is where things start to get wild.
Yeah. So we get like a like flashback memory kind of thing of Songwoo as a small child kicking a soccer ball around, and his mom is crouched on the floor just looking like a defeated woman.
Yeah. This dream sequence, I think, is a big characterization moment for Songwoo, because we don't get a whole lot of his perspective in the first half, you know, because he's just sort of like, everything he does is random and weird.
Yeah.
You know, this is a really creepy, weird dream.
Yeah. He's a little kid, and then he grows up like real quick in this dream and like lays on his mom's lap for a second, and then he kind of walks away, but is stopped by a giant wall that appears in front of him, but there's a knife under his foot. And he picks up the knife, he turns around and looks at his mom, and at that point I was like, did he like pull a diabolic lover's kill on his mom, like freeing her from her miserable existence kind of thing? Like, that's where my head's at right now for what maybe happened. But don't tell me. But that's what I'm getting.
Of course. I will let you discover for yourself.
Yeah, if that's where it's going, then this is really good writing, because it kind of foreshadows it a little bit. Or at least I got it. You know what I mean? Like, I feel just smart enough, but not like it over revealed anything if this is where it's headed. That like the concept, if any of you haven't watched Diabolic Lovers, the greatest show ever
I don't know
created,
why you wouldn't have.
is that they're all vampires, and if you kill a vampire, usually it's like a vampire killing a vampire. If you kill them, that's like the greatest act of love that you can perform because you're freeing an immortal from living forever.
Honestly, vibes.
Which is, it sounds kind of stupid on the surface, but if you think about it a little bit, it makes sense.
Yeah, that works. That works.
But that's what I think was kind of going on here, where Songwoo is like, she's so miserable that I gotta kill her to like free her. But the mom turns into Boom, so becomes layered.
Wah, wah. But then, okay, here's more good writing from Killing Stalking. With regard to what's upcoming and the kind of swap to Songwoo's perspective on things. There's this really interesting kind of transfer of power in this dream when he turns around and it's Boom, and Boom kind of gets him to go down on his knees. And it's like, oh, I see, there's a paradigm shift happening here because now he associates Boom with this authority figure. There's also this really gross line where he hugs Songwoo around his waist and is like, is your mom disgusting? Which is,
oh god,
oh no, oh no.
But then Songwoo like jerks awake and
we're back to our usual funny Killing Stalking.
Yeah, and they're both butt ass naked.
Of course they are. They just went to bed naked right there.
Yeah.
And it was like 2 feet away, so why wouldn't you?
Yeah. Let's see. I only had 3 notes for this chapter.
Oh, I had a few.
Yeah. But the first one was about the Diabolic Lovers thing. The second one is about tearing his asshole, which we already discussed, and how dangerous
I wrote down, I don't know how Boom doesn't notice until noon the next day that he's been bleeding out of his ass all night. Like, yeah. He's like, ooh. That's not good. I was like, your pea brain.
I was like, also, how did you not notice? And like later he like tries to sit down and it hurts. He's been sitting on his foot like for a while. How did you not notice?
His actual ass isn't on anything. He's sitting like,
yeah, but his asshole is on his foot.
No, it's not. His cheek's on his foot.
No.
No, the asshole's free, man. Trust me, no.
Okay, but even if the foot is on the cheek,
strat that he's using.
Even if the foot is on the cheek is pulling outwards.
That's also true.
So
owie. Yeah,
that should hurt. Should hurt. But then Songwoo gets hungry, so nothing matters.
So everything's fine. That's the only thing that's important.
Yeah. Songwoo cooks.
Songwoo cooks in this chapter. Again, there's like a big paradigm shift here.
Yeah.
He wakes up from this dream. He says something mean to Boom.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's like, you're so fucking old. Like you're gross. And then he's like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. Like,
yeah.
You're like, wait, what? Like, that's like the first time he's apologized for some kind of out-of-pocket shit.
I almost wrote that down. I was like, I couldn't remember if that was the first time he like apologized without being prompted to do so. But yeah, I guess so.
There's a really great joke in this bit too, where they wake up and he's like, what time is it? And Boom's like, oh, it's like lunchtime. And he's like, have you been sitting here staring at me like the entire day? And Boom's like, yes.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, that's you should know this by now. Like, that's what I do.
Yeah, pretty much. I have a note that says this spaghetti bit is kind of cute. Like, he goes and cooks some spaghetti, and Boom's just sitting there being sad and, like, watching him.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I wish someone would come help me eat all of this spaghetti.
I was like, God,
I have way too much spaghetti.
Yeah, if there was a shift going on from Boom becoming more of, like, the motherly, like, in charge figure, that is definitely not a part of it, because that is shit parents pull on their kids. Like, I wish someone was here. Like,
it's cute. I was like, I don't like that this is cute. Like,
yeah. Songwoo, like, pulls a prank on him and is like, it's human meat in the meatballs, and Boom believes him for a second.
And he's like, why would you believe me? I literally lie constantly. Like, every day of my life I'm lying.
And then Songwoo wants to know more about Boom.
Yeah, which is also a first.
Yeah, so it seems like Songwoo, it cuts over most of it, but it seems like Boom was telling Songwoo about the time in class where the girl like rejected him or whatever. Songwoo gets like, he starts poking fun at him for being such a pussy, for not bullying his own bully. Like,
he's like, you gotta stand up to people like that or they'll keep pushing you around. I was like, don't teach him that lesson. I'll stand up to your ass. Yeah. And then it cuts away at the end, and Seungbae has a tape recorder in their house, so he's listening to this conversation, and he's laying in bed looking like a lump.
Oh wait, did I miss that? I think I scrolled too fast. Yeah.
And I have a note that says, Seungbae on the tape recorder is my NSA listening to us talk right now.
Yeah.
He's just like, ugh.
You're like, what the fuck? Oh yeah, I don't know how I missed that. I missed that, but I think I just
I
scrolled too
missed it the
fast.
first time I was reading too, so don't feel bad about it. It's not super clear.
It doesn't come up, at least in this chunk anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
37.
Chapter 37.
Oh, this has got to be in my top 10 chapters of Killing Stalking. I love this bit.
They're taking a bath.
They are taking a bath together, and Sangwoo is trying to guess like stuff Boom has done
Yeah.
for fun.
And
he hasn't done any of it.
For perspective on this scene, Sangwoo is the little spoon in this bath time situation.
Yeah. Yeah, he is. Like, I feel like the Britney Spears crying gif. Like, yeah.
And Sangwoo bathes with his bandages on.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just a weird bath. He keeps grabbing Boom's little twig legs.
Yeah. He keeps asking Boom, he's like, have you been to like this thing? Have you done this thing? Like, have you gone to a party? Have you gone drinking? Have you gone bowling? Like all that kind of shit. And Boom's like, nope, I'm horrible and I'm a hermit. So nope.
Oh my god, there's this delightful little bit in here where he grabs Boom's legs and he's like playing with his legs and he grabs his ankle and he's like, "Oh, you don't like flinch or anything when I grab that. Like, but you were limping earlier." And Boom's like, "Yeah." Like and someone just like moves on. Like he doesn't grasp at all.
Yeah, he's like, "My legs hurt before."
Boom's like, "What, my legs don't hurt anymore," but
and then he's like, Song was like, have you drunk before though? And he's like, just once. My uncle made me do it. He made me drink in his room once. And Song was like, ugh, and like flips him upside down.
I think I wrote down like just throwing Boom like that in the tub is so needlessly mean that it like wraps around to being really funny. Like he's like, ugh, and he like knocks him down on his head.
Yeah. And then we get a little more Songwoo fan service. Not as much as before, but is like we get the pelvic V or whatever because he gets out of the tub.
Top tier. I want to jetpack this man so bad. I'd climb him like a tree. I love him.
And then you would die.
Worth it, babe. If that's how I go, that's how I go.
But yeah, Songwoo gets out of the tub and he's like, I know exactly what we need to do. I have the perfect idea. And we get the theme park chapter.
They go to Lotte World.
Yeah, basically. Is it exactly like is that what Lotte World?
It is Lotte World.
Okay.
It like actually is.
Because I was like, why is the like Disneyland Paris castle in there?
Because Lotte World is a knockoff Disneyland, so they have that there. Yeah.
Because that is I've been to Disneyland Paris. That and the I'm pretty sure the Haunted Mansion are like straight out of Disneyland Paris.
Yeah,
which,
I've been to this theme park, and
if you're gonna knock off a Disney castle, the Paris one is the prettiest one to do. So good choice, Lotte World.
No, this is a really cute park too, and there's like a bunch of stuff in there.
Yeah,
like there's like a whole arcade in there and stuff.
Yeah.
It's really nice. Lotte World is very nice, actually.
We should have gone.
I was like, I'd go back. We should have gone because the first time I went, I was with a bunch of people that like didn't really like me, but I was like, I'll go with them because I want to feel like I have friends.
Aw.
But you know, it is what it is. So it was like kind of fun. But
in like 25 years when we go back.
Yeah, we should go back sometime.
Yeah, we'll go to Lotte. We went to the Lotte World Mall, and the tower, kind of. We went in. Yeah. We went into the lobby to try and find a trash can. That's right. There's no trash can.
But yeah, we should go to the park sometime because it's really cute. We should go on this date.
Take notes on what they did.
Boom is so happy to be this stupid thing.
Yeah, they go on like the pirate ship ride, and it cuts to like a crotch shot, and I thought he like came on the ride. I was like,
no, he just gets a boner. He gets an adrenaline boner.
Yeah,
which I mean, in character for what we know about this man.
If he's never done one of these things, like I guess
they go to the gift shop and
he gets a cute little froggy keychain.
Songwoo buys him a little froggy keychain. It's really actually very cute.
Yeah,
he comes up behind Boom, I think to scare him with like a mask on.
Oh
Boom
yeah,
doesn't even like react anymore.
He has like an It mask on.
Get it, because the clown in the maze that was in the other chip.
I remember the clown.
You get it?
Oh god, that audio is gonna be fucking terrible.
Oh, it's gonna be atrocious.
But it's worth it because that clown's so fucking stupid.
So it was like, so you don't scream on the rides, and Boom is like, oh well, they're too scary to scream on, and Song was like, well, try. He's like, well, don't try. It's weird to do it on purpose, but like, I think you should.
They get their picture taken by like a cute little mascot, like by a furry mascot.
They get their picture taken. He buys him the froggy keychain. He makes him go on the merry-go-round so he can watch him on the side like a proud dad.
Yeah,
Boom's
on the carousel, and Songwoo is smoking in the smoking section. Or is he actually smoking? It never shows.
Yeah, he goes to buy cigarettes,
but it never shows. Or does it show him? Or he kind of no. It's hidden by the. They just censor it with like the speech bubble, but
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's
He buys
smoking.
them churros.
Yeah, the most phallic theme park treat.
Like, it's just a very weird chapter. Weird slice of life chapter in the middle of
But
this.
yeah, they go in the haunted mansion, which is not. It looks like the Disneyland Paris haunted mansion, but it is not like a ride. It's like a walk-through haunted house.
Yes, this haunted house was closed when I was there.
Oh, really?
So I didn't get to go.
Rip.
Yeah.
But
We
they
tried to go in and it was closed.
they have to go in groups of 4, so they get paired with these 2 rando girls, and I was like, "OMG, that's us."
That would be us. And they're both like, "Hey, big guy, we're so scared."
Oh, you would do that, but I would just kinda go behind you, like, "Yeah."
Oh yeah, no, I would have been the girl that's like, "Hey, can we stand behind you?"
Yeah. But yeah, they have to go through this haunted house, and Boom is bringing up the rear. And there's just some weird shit happening.
Yeah, no, Songwoo tells a pretty good joke where he's like, "What if there was really a murderer in here? What if one of us didn't come out?"
What if 2 of us didn't come out? Boom's in the back like, "Fucking Christ."
Like, okay. There's another repeated shot from that weird maze chapter, in the haunted house, because of course there is.
Yeah.
And then they get chased by another fucking clown.
Yeah, this one looks like Scarecrow.
This one's like creepy scarecrow clown.
Scarecrow.
But Boom stops because he thinks he lost the froggy keychain.
Which I was like, Boom, you can at least like buy another one of those. I lost a whole flip-flop at an amusement park once, and I could see it below the roller coaster because I lost it on the like loading dock.
Oh, that's the worst. My sister did that once.
I got into the like when I was getting into the cart, it went between like in the gap, like mind the gap, it went down there. And I could see it. And like we walked down the stairs below the loading dock and it was like behind a fence. But like it was a fence with a gate and the employee was right there. And I was like, "Oh, it's right there." And they're like, "I can't go get it. That's restricted area." I was like, "The ride's not running right now. I'll go get it and I won't sue you."
Can I go get my shoe, please?
So I had to buy a whole new pair of flip-flops and I carried around the other flip-flop the entire day. This was like in 8th grade.
That sucks.
And it became my boyfriend for the day.
The thing about this is that Boom doesn't have the froggy keychain because Songwoo was carrying the froggy keychain for him because his pockets are small.
Yep.
And he just forgot because he has a pea brain.
Pea-brain strikes again.
So when he tries to run, he thinks he dropped the froggy keychain, but you didn't. It wasn't there.
Yeah.
But then he has this really sad line where he's like, he's searching for it, and he can't see it because it's dark, and he's like, "It was my first present from anybody," and he starts crying, and you're like,
so
"Dude,
sad.
you're the saddest man in the world."
Like, fuck. But then Songwoo comes back.
So Songwoo goes back in to get it.
Yeah.
I mean, to get him. Boom is, of course, losing his entire mind and has a fucking panic attack.
Yeah, so Songwoo decides, I know what'll help. A big fat kiss.
Of course, as always.
And it kind of does this time.
If all you have is a hammer, what is he gonna do? Have an emotional conversation? An honest, vulnerable conversation about Boom's problems? No.
But then he drags him out of the haunted house, presumably because they're sitting at like a bench.
Oh my god. There's this extremely mean conversation that they have on this fucking bench where, like, Songwoo's like, "Well, you only like it because I bought it for you." And Boom's like, "Yeah." And Songwoo's like, "I could buy you another one, but I don't want to."
Right. I made a note that says, Songwoo, don't be a dick.
Yeah, no, he's being a total, like, tsundere thing. He's got, like, it's not like I like you or anything. Like,
God.
What a dick. Anyway, he gives it back to him.
He gives it back to him, and Boom's like, "I want to go on the roller coaster." And he's like, "Are you sure?" He's like, "Yeah, we'll go on the roller coaster. We'll have fun."
He just goes along with Boom's pea brain, too. Like,
Yeah.
Boom is like, "Oh, you found it?" And he's like, "Yeah."
Yeah, they get on this roller coaster, and Songwoo's like, "Give me the frog, because, you have tiny pockets." And Boom's like, "No, it's okay. I won't lose it this time. I won't lose it." And for some reason, this offends Songwoo.
Songwoo has like a weird self-aware moment where he's like, "Yeah, you shouldn't trust me with anything.
God.
I'm a bad person and I will hurt you." You're like, "Yeah, but like..."
And he like,
"But what?"
He almost like lets the picture they took earlier fly in the wind, but he sees that Boom is actually feeling something for once, and he's like, "Oh, never mind. Maybe I'll keep the picture."
Yeah, there's this beautiful panel when Boom turns to look at him on the drop on the roller coaster, and I was like, "Oh wow, they really try in this chapter, huh?"
Yeah.
They said I'm really trying this chapter.
Yeah, but that's chapter 37.
Yeah, this one was like nice. Like they had like a nice, like they just had a nice day.
Yeah, but then they go drinking at a I'm assuming it's like a barbecue place.
Yeah, it looks like a Korean barbecue.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's just a barbecue for them.
Yeah, that's why I thought for a second, I was like, it looks like a barbecue place. It's like they're in Korea.
It's just regular barbecue.
And Boom really likes frogs.
Here's the thing, I made a note that says you really like frogs, and then I was like, Songwoo is so good at completely missing the point, and then you also said he really likes like he likes the frog because you got him the frog.
Yeah.
But he does like frogs. He picked up that
does.
weird frog when they were on the mountain too.
Yeah, he likes frogs. He likes frogs.
He likes frogs.
And Songwoo says he looks stupid, but he's kind of cute, so win, I guess.
Oh, that's a win. That's a win. Songwoo gets each of them a bottle of soju too.
Oh,
which
God.
powerful. Like, damn.
That's gonna kill Boom, but that's okay.
Like, Boom is like, what is he, 114 pounds? He's probably
I wouldn't even say that. He's probably like under 100. He's got ribs showing, like,
yeah. Well, my
like
thinking is he's 5'3" canonically.
Is
so
he?
he is 5 inches taller than me. So I was like, he probably weighs about the same I do.
Probably. He's probably like 105 at the least. 115 at the most.
Yeah.
Songwoo,
it's
230.
Easy
230.
Songwoo, they drink together. It's kind of cute.
Kinda.
They're having kind of a nice night.
Yeah, Songwoo says he's never gonna grow old. I was like, maybe he is a vampire.
You were like, well, I was like, I wouldn't say that, buddy. That seems like bad juju, but whatever.
Yeah. Songwoo starts bragging about murdering girls in the middle of this barbecue place, and
oh my god, he's losing it. He's losing his mind. Like, he's losing it. He's losing it too, because he starts talking about, like, fucking. Here's the thing. It starts because he sees a girl standing behind Boom, and he's like, that's the girl I killed. She's back. She's back. You kill girls and they come back. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, he's delusional. He's, like, straight up having, like, a hallucinogenic episode at the Korean barbecue. And Boom is like, okay.
And then he starts screaming about how he loves killing people. He's like,
he's standing there. He's like, so I choked her out, like, in the middle of the place.
And everyone looks at him like, ah ha ha. Yeah, okay.
Like, nobody's actually looking at them, but Boom thinks the whole restaurant's watching them.
Yeah.
And he looks away because he's like, is anybody listening to this? Because he's like, I cracked her head open with a hammer.
Yeah. Good lord.
Nobody's paying any attention. But he looks away, and Songwoo says, pay attention to your husband, which also is insane.
I was like, what? Okay.
Like, I think for a minute there, for a chapter there, you're like, oh, they're just having a nice time.
Yeah.
Like, maybe they're gonna have a nice time together. And then you're like, oh no, he's in a manic period.
Yeah.
That's what's actually happening.
Yep.
He's just not well at the moment.
And then he implies something about, like, having sex later, and Boom gets all embarrassed.
He says, eat up so we can have fun all night. And then Boom realizes he's gonna puke. And he's trying to stand up and leave. But Songwoo keeps bugging him because he thinks he's embarrassed. He's like, sex. Because he's 12. Yeah. And Boom has to run outside and puke.
Oh yeah, he goes out and pukes because he thinks of having sex with Songwoo. That's that's
the line.
He's like, I gotta go. That's it. I can't hold it in. Puke.
I can't do it. I have to pukey.
He pukes outside on a light pole, and then Songwoo has the genius idea of having Boom drive.
Boom drunk drive.
A man who's never driven.
Or drank.
Yeah. Oh god.
You're gonna make him drunk drive.
But then
it's nuts.
He has even a bigger brain idea, and as they're driving, he's like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna give Boom a handy. On the highway.
What are you doing? Like, it's terrible. It's terrible. Boom is like, what the fuck? Oh my god. He has to grab the wheels so they don't get hit by a truck. Like,
yeah, because like Boom is like mid-orgasm. Like,
they get to the fucking, they're going to a motel instead of driving all the way home, which is probably wise. And they get there and Boom is like, what the fuck was that? Like, we could have died. And Songwoo's like, haha. And then he throws out that he's like, well, I read it in the fan fiction you wrote about us on your phone. I was like, I'd curl up and die if I were Boom. If I wrote a fan fiction about me and another guy and he read it. Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh god, that's humiliating.
I cannot believe.
So they go into the motel and Boom is sucking him off and he does that little hoe back arch, you know?
Yeah. Yep. He starts arched outwards, but then he dips down and sticks his ass out.
Yeah, and Songwoo thinks it's hilarious.
Yeah. But his head game is getting better.
His head game's improving. Good for him.
Yep.
Good for him.
Yeah. Also, his underwear like disappears and reappears multiple times in these panels.
I saw that too. I don't know. I don't know what's going on there, but whatever. He's giving head. He's having a good time.
He's giving head, yeah.
Yeah, it's really okay. First of all, Songwoo seems to think Boom is capable of deep throating. I don't think he can.
No.
He can't, but I don't think he's capable of it, to be honest. Also, then Boom is like, can you suck me off? And Songwoo's like, no. Boom's really pushing it today.
Boom says, use your tongue to make me come, and I thought he wanted a rim job.
That would be fascinating. I don't think there's a chance in hell of that happening.
No. I don't think Boom would have realized that's a thing that could have been done to get him off, but
no, I don't think if they don't know what lube is, that they know you can do that to somebody.
Yeah, but Songwoo tries to at first. He sticks his head down there, and I think he starts doing it a little bit. But then he's like, I can't.
Yeah, well, he gets up and says, I just don't want to say anything mean, which is, I think, the meanest thing you could possibly have said there.
That too, but you can't really say anything mean when you've got dick in your mouth.
You would have had a dick in your mouth to stop you. I think what he's actually getting at is, you know how sometimes he says stuff and then he's like, I'm an asshole? Like, you know, like, I think he's actually saying, like, I don't want to, like, get worked up and say something I'll regret saying. But what he says is, I can't get near your dick because I don't want to say anything mean, which just makes it sound like you think his dick is weird.
But then he asks if he wants to use his hand, and Boom is like, absolutely not. I'll just suck you off instead.
Canon, that song gives really bad hand jobs. Like, just terrible.
But then, like, I got so confused because...
I got confused at this, too. I think we're on the same page.
The end, right? Like, the very end
like,
where
what?
he says, I win.
First, he goes into the bathroom and he turns all the water on, which...
right.
Okay.
He pulls a hitman.
Once again, he's having some kind of manic fit, and he goes into the bathroom and he turns all the water on, and then he's like...
Have you ever played Hitman?
Yeah.
Yeah, where you can, like, stuff the sinks and fill them up. That's what he does.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing. So he goes and sits in the bathroom, turns all the water on, makes a bunch of weird noise, and then goes, I win.
I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? You win at what?
Winning at getting head without giving.
And then they don't address
it's like,
it.
Girl boss, I win. The bitch ass.
Because the next chapter 39, starts with them in the shower.
Yeah, now they're fucking again.
Well, you think they're fucking again, but really.
Okay, they're having a weird conversation where they're boning, and like Boom's like, can you go slower? And Songwoo's like, I think that will hurt more. And it's like, man, you guys just haven't unlocked the secret trick. Like,
I don't think they were boning at all.
You just don't know. They weren't boning? What were they doing?
They were pulling off the bandages.
Oh, fuck, you're right. No, but then why was he turned around?
Because the bandages are wrapped around the back as well.
But when he turns back around to face frontways, they're still on the back of his neck.
No, they're on the front.
What the fuck?
The loose ones are around the back of his neck, but the stuff that's stuck to his skin is on the front. So they were pulling it off the back at first, right?
Oh, yeah. Thanks for explaining the logistics to me. They're not boning. They're pulling this off.
It's barely there because they want you to think they're fucking. But
yeah.
It's because it's like it's ripping off a Band-Aid, literally, but it's bandages. And the note that I made was that they never change those things. That shit's infected.
Oh, that shit's so... Boom has so many infections right now.
Boom's gonna die of, like, syphilis.
He's going to die of infection, but whatever. They're pulling the thing off.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's not good. He pulls it off, and he looks at it, and he's like, that looks like it's healing well, and it doesn't look like it's healing well. It looks really bad and gross.
Yeah,
it looks
it's
very
disgusting.
infected.
Oh, God.
But he calls Boom handsome.
He does. And they go to the front desk, and Songwoo asks for Band-Aids, and all I wrote down was the off-brand Band-Aids.
I did too. I also have a note that just says Band-Aids.
We're the same brain. Like,
honestly.
That's all it says. Band-Aids.
Band-Aids. Oh my god. So then he pulls Boom over because this girl's walking past and gives him the like Ed Gein American Psycho monologue.
Yeah.
Where he's like, I see a pretty girl and I want to stab her through the head.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Which, you know, I get that reference, but whatever. And Boom just looks fucking miserable.
Boom's like, can we leave? Can we go?
There's this great panel where Songwoo's like grinning, giving this fucking monologue. Yeah. And he's got like his hands out and he's talking with his hands.
Yeah.
Boom just looks like he wants wants to die. Like, he's like, oh,
Oh,
okay.
God. But it's okay because the front desk guy comes back. He says, I finally found your book Band-Aid.
I've got your book Band-Aid. Don't worry.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
But they leave. They leave the motel.
He makes Boom take the wheel again so he can answer his phone.
Yeah. They're still looking for Ji-yoon, and he's like, fucking, how should I know? Hangs up on them.
He tells his friend to fuck off and stop asking
he's like,
him.
fuck
He
off.
goes, I'm trying to enjoy my date, and he brings up a fucking dead person. Like, he wasn't talking about killing someone 5 minutes ago.
But then he's like, you know what, Boom? You want to go skiing?
He's like so out of it right now. This is exactly how I was behaving in Korea, to be fair. Like, I was also like, whoop-de-woo! Like, the whole time.
Christ.
Let's go skiing!
Well, you could do that because you were there to experience the culture.
That's true. I was on vacation, so...
But yeah, they're like, let's go skiing. But first they have to go shopping, so we have another fashion montage.
Yeah, they go shopping at what looks like... Okay, this looks like it's a fucking... Like a sports equipment store.
Yeah.
You know? Where they're buying, like, skiing stuff.
Yeah.
But then Boom is in the changing room trying on coats, and he's actually, it's very adorable. He's like, I want to get a cool haircut.
Yeah.
I want to look handsome. And you're like, aw, he's growing up.
Yeah. This 30-year-old man is growing up.
Anyway, they're at this fucking sports equipment store. Boom is trying on skiing stuff, and then Songwoo comes in, and for some reason he has like a weird little dress. Like they have this in this store.
I'm wondering if, like, it didn't occur to me until you brought it up, but when I was reading it, I was like, oh, it looks like he's in the same changing room as before. So I'm wondering if it's like somehow a communal like changing room for multiple stores at that same mall.
Maybe
Which
something like that. Or maybe like they're just in a sports equipment section of this store and it's like a big store with lots of stuff. But
yeah, that would make more sense than my like weird like bring the clothes out of the store where you would have to pay for them into a communal changing room.
Well, okay, I have another comment on that though, because I'll bring this up momentarily. But they come into this fucking changing room and Songwoo brings him this little pink dress.
Yeah, little lingerie.
Because he clearly has some kind of cross-dressing kink.
Yeah.
that Boom just deals with.
Yeah.
So Boom puts it on. He doesn't look good.
No.
But he wears it. And Songwoo's like, God, you're so hot. She's like, okay. And he gets down into that same position he was in the dream where Boom was his mom.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. All right. And then they're gonna fuck in the changing room.
Yeah, I was like, at this point, do they just like fuck like rabbits now? Like,
I think they do. I think they're just constantly fucking, which is not good for Boom. Poor baby.
No. His ass is still definitely
torn. His ass has
torn.
to be in so much pain. Like maybe he's getting like calluses.
But it's okay because they get interrupted before they can really do anything.
Yeah. Okay. So this guy from the store comes in and is like, only one person can be in there, and Sungwoo's like, well, we're fucking, so it's okay.
We are one person now, so
it's kind of one unit. And then he's like, haha, let's go before they come back. But it's like, you bought the clothes though. Like you didn't go. Like you did buy them. So
yeah.
Did you just like steal them? Did you just leave with them? Or?
I think they steal clothes because that first episode where they're trying on the sweaters, like they try them on and leave them on when they come out of the dressing room.
Yeah, they just wear them out. So I think they're just stealing shit, which I could get behind.
But they have a little bag for this, so I don't know.
So maybe they bought it. I don't know.
Maybe they bought
it.
Whatever.
They're on the escalator. Sungwoo was like, don't you have any other shirts? These ones are ugly. And Boom's like, they're my uncle's, which is a lie because Sungwoo bought you that shirt like 10 chapters ago.
Yeah. And then they almost run over a kid with their shopping cart, and the kid gets upset, and Songwoo's just like, literally, shut up.
Songwoo's trying to like argue this toddler out of crying. Yeah. He's like, you didn't get hit that hard, so you can stop crying. Oh my god.
But the toddler runs back to its mom, so.
He'd be a great dad.
World's best dad.
Yeah, he gets all upset because he looks over and sees fucking the kid hugging his mom, and he's like, ugh, I hate moms.
That's all that chapter.
I had a bad relationship with my mom, so now I'm bad at it.
Anyway, chapter 40.
Chapter 40!
Woo!
I'm so hype about chapter 40.
But yeah, chapter 40 is a flashback chapter.
We finally get to meet Sangwoo's mama.
Yeah, with little Sangwoo doing his homework, and then his mom comes upstairs to find him.
And he hides from her.
Yeah.
Little Sungwoo was adorable.
He is. He's still got the eye bags,
really
but
cute. He got them big old eyes though, and that cute little haircut.
Yeah.
He's so cute. He's so cute. I want to protect it. I want to see it grow up well.
Well, at this point, that's okay.
Yeah. Oh, he's so tiny. But he hides from his mom.
Well,
in
he
the
heard
closet.
someone coming upstairs and he hides in the closet. And
Yeah,
his mom
that's
knows
true.
exactly where he is.
Clearly, he's not very good at hiding.
Yeah.
He's in that same place every time. And he keeps asking when his dad is coming back.
Yeah. His mom's like, all right, let's go eat. And she gives him the tiniest bowl of rice I've ever seen.
A little baby bowl of rice.
That's
I don't
like-
know how old he's supposed to be here.
Probably like 7
He
or
looks-
8, right?
Oh, I think in this beginning bit, when she picks him up, he looks like he's maybe 4 or 5. But when he's
Yeah.
going to school later in the chapter, I think he's 7 or 8.
When he's picked up, I guess he definitely looks like 6, but his just like general like proportions look like 7 or 8. Because like he just looks more built.
Yeah, they get kind of long and normal looking when they hit like 4 or 5, you know? At
Yeah.
least most of them. Obviously, my baby that I send you pictures of all the time is a brick and he never got not baby shaped.
Yeah.
But most toddlers.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, I'm looking at the panel where he's picked up by his dad now. Yeah, he looks like 3 or 4. So
Yeah, he's like a little baby here.
yeah. But when he's by
Um,
himself, he looks way older.
The dad comes home, he's got like a box of chocolates. Like,
Yeah. He hugs his dad, which was a surprise to me because I was like, didn't he like not like his dad or whatever? Like the dad was chucking cigarette bowls at him and
yeah.
whatever, but I couldn't remember what age he was in that flashback. And also they were eating at the big boy table. So
Yeah, I think the dad turns mean at some point. Like, I
Yeah.
think he started out okay.
yeah. The mom is like weird. Like Sangwoo makes a comment like when the mom is like kissing his forehead and holding his cheeks. He's like, "Mommy, your hands are cold." Like the mom's just like off. The vibes are off.
She's just weird. She's got bad vibes.
Yeah.
Also, if he does like his dad still at this point, then what is he hiding from?
Yeah.
Like, when he hears people walking around.
It's a little strange.
It's a little bit weird. There's a second flashback. He looks a little bit bigger here. He looks older here.
Right, where he's like
Um,
kneeling in front of the bed.
Yeah, he wants to draw on the walls, and his dad won't let him, and his
Yeah.
mom tells him to.
Yeah, his mom's like, I'll always be there to defend you.
She's like, I'm always on your side.
Yeah.
Draw on the walls.
Go for it.
He's sleeping in bed without a pillow.
Yeah. Well, because his neck hurts for some reason.
He doesn't like pillows.
Yeah.
And his mom comes in to sleep with him.
Yeah. She's got like a bruise on her face.
She's all beat up and she
Yeah.
wants to sleep in his bed
Yeah.
instead of with her husband.
Yeah. And she's looking pretty skinny. Like they draw her with some pretty deep collarbones and shadows.
Yeah, she's not looking well.
Yeah.
She's starting to turn boom looking.
Yeah. So then it advances a little bit more. He looks a tiny bit older here.
Yeah, I would say he's probably 8 here
Yeah.
now.
And he's kind of depressed acting a little bit. And mom notices, but it's because he's sick.
Yeah, he comes home from school with a fever and he says he didn't want to tell his dad that he was sick, so he went to school.
Yeah. He's like, Dad will get mad if he finds out I'm sick. So he wanted his dad to go to work first. So then he would come home and be taken care of. So that the dad wouldn't hit the mom because the kid was sick.
Yeah, which is crazy, but
Yeah.
not out of the realm of possibility.
No.
So it
Um,
sucks. It sucks. She comes upstairs and there's this really weird line where she's like, "Oh, you dressed yourself?" And he's like, "Yeah, I could do that," because he's
Yeah.
like 8.
yeah. It's a little strange.
Like he's probably too old, but
Should we go back to the CL rule?
yeah.
You're over the age of 4.
Literally, like I don't know why you'd be dressing him. That's odd. That's odd.
Yeah.
Like I would say 4 or 5 is marginal.
Yeah.
You know?
But I mean, I guess if he's like 8 or whatever and he's sick, I guess. But like
if he's
it
sick,
seemed,
maybe.
it
It's
seemed
just
like it was a
odd.
normal thing that happened, like all the time.
Yeah, like she's like surprised that he got himself dressed.
Yeah.
It's that I could do it myself now that
Yeah,
seems
yeah.
weird.
But she stays by his side and he's like, "You'll get your cold." And she's like, "I don't mind. I'm a mom. I'm invincible."
They kiss each other a whole bunch.
Yeah. And then it cuts to him at school, like the next day or whatever, because they're asking if he feels better. And a girl confesses to him with a little note.
And he won't take it.
Yeah.
Presumably because he knows his mom's gonna be weird about it.
Yeah, but the girl shoves it in his backpack anyway.
She puts it in his backpack anyway, so the mom does find it.
Yeah, the mom goes through his stuff, which is
she goes.
terrible.
She apparently goes through his stuff every day,
Yeah.
that's not good.
No, that's a breach of
That's
privacy
not something
and
you should be
trust.
doing.
Yeah, even to your 8-year-old kid, even to your like, I'd say around 4 or 5 is probably when you should start giving
Yeah,
them
when
some
you shouldn't
space.
be going through their things.
Yeah.
Like,
Like 1, 2, 3, maybe 4, they're still kind of might die if you leave them to their own devices. Like,
Yeah,
but
I think once they're old enough to go to school on their own or preschool, like you don't need to go through their bag except maybe
no,
to put in like a lunch or something.
yeah, put in a
You don't need to
lunch.
dig through their things and look at their stuff.
No, maybe like peek into the bag to make sure there's like nothing terrible in there.
Yeah, if you have a reason to be worried, then
Yeah.
then look. But like reading
If the
his
bag's all
shit is
dirty,
weird.
maybe take a peek in there, make sure there's not like a cat.
Yeah, like that sort of thing, sure.
Yeah, but
But she opens up his bag and digs through all of his things and
if
reads
you
his
don't
note.
have a warrant.
Yeah, what the fuck? Everyone's always searching his shit. And he comes in and just looks like horrified that she found this.
Oh, yeah.
And she's super weird about it.
Yeah.
She's like, how long have you been keeping this from your mommy? Like, it's like, what? Huh? Keeping what? Like, a girl at school likes him?
Yeah. Also, he has the same sweater that he does in the future.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
It's the same little sweater, the white sweater.
Listen, he has consistent taste.
He does.
He knew he was gonna look good in it because he already did look good.
Yeah. She's super weird about this.
She's super strange.
But she critiques it. She's like, it's pretty lousy for a love letter.
She's like jealous of this 8-year-old girl that likes her son.
Yeah.
It's like really weird and creepy.
But then she apologizes to him.
Yeah, okay, I wrote a note on this. Here's more good writing from Killing Stalking, but Sung-woo says constantly that he's afraid of becoming his dad.
Yeah.
He is exactly like the mom. Where,
Yeah.
like, you just suddenly freak out, do weird, crazy shit, and then you freak out a second time apologizing for it.
It was like both of them.
Yeah.
If the dad is actually mean. Because, like, that's what we got from before.
I think the dad is.
But it cuts to, like, her ankle. She's got, like, not quite the same, like, bruises as the other ones. It looks like there's rope tied around her
Yeah,
ankles.
it looks like rope burn to me, too.
Yeah, which is insane.
Like she's been tied up.
But it cuts to a bunch of, like, it cuts to her getting beat up by presumably the dad.
Yeah.
In the kitchen, she's getting, like, beat on. But she's protecting Song-woo. But the thing is, I don't know if she's protecting him or if she's, like, just grabbing onto him as, like a comfort kind of thing, like while she's getting beat up.
I'm not sure about that either. Like if she's the reason he's there during this or if she's protecting him from getting hurt.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it could go either way.
Yeah, it could be she's holding on to him to maybe not get hurt as much.
Yeah.
But I don't know because it doesn't seem like the dad likes him either if the tiny table is anything to go by.
Well, yeah, so who knows? He doesn't seem to be like bruised up though. So if she's protecting him, she does a good job. If she's not, then the dad's not targeting him specifically, but...
And then she hallucinates, like, dancing with her husband in the kitchen, but this is, like, many years later because Song-woo looks...
Song-woo's maybe a middle schooler or an early teenager now. He's pretty tall at this point.
Yeah, I'd say he's probably, like, 14 or 15, because that's when guys start getting their growth spurt.
Yeah, that's true.
If not 16 or 17, because he might be, like, late high school. I bet he's like 15 or 16.
Yeah, no, he's quite tall now. And he comes home and she's dancing around the kitchen and he's like, this is weird.
Yeah, like, what are you doing? No, it must be high school because he's got the tie on.
Oh, you're right. He's a high schooler.
Yeah, I bet that's. I don't know exactly how uniforms work, but I feel like a tie is
that's
like
a high school thing.
Yeah, I know that the boys had to wear ties, or did they have to wear ties? I went to a Catholic school for kindergarten, and it was like K through 8. And I had to wear a uniform, but we also got to see like the 8th graders. I can't remember if they were wearing ties or not, but that was a Catholic school, though.
Yeah. Ew.
But yeah, she's dancing with nobody, but she thinks her husband's there or whatever. And Song was like, why are you happy? And she's like, I've got a secret now, a very interesting secret. And I have a few speculations. Literally could be anything because there's not a whole lot pointing to what it could be. But
yeah,
I thought either, oh my God, the mom killed the dad, or she's having an affair, or she's finally decided to fuck her own son. Those are the 3 options.
Oh my God, I want to spoil so bad.
No. You're not allowed.
But I won't because I love our viewers.
When does it come up? Like, how long do I have to wait? Is it like a next chapter thing, or is it like towards the end?
No, I would say you have to wait quite a long time to unravel.
That's
this
fine.
I'll
try to figure it out as we go if we get any more like weird psychological
stuff.
I
want you to keep making guesses.
Yeah, those are my 3 guesses though. That the mom killing the dad isn't as valid if the statement that Song-woo made about his dad being the last person he killed, like the last man that he killed, is true. If that statement is true, then the mom killing the dad is not a possibility.
Yeah, but who knows which shit Songwoo says.
Her having an affair makes the most sense, but I kind of want her to have decided that she's gonna fuck her own son.
Brutal, dude.
Well, that's what that's
just for drama's sake.
Yeah,
though,
for
yes.
drama. But or maybe she thinks she's having an affair, but it's really just fake hallucination man. But who knows?
Who knows? We'll discover all of the secrets of the O family
in
the future of Killing Stalking. In the future of Killing Stalking.
I think maybe that should be our discussion question. It's not. I guess it could be like a discussion if y'all have read it and have like evidence, but haven't read the whole thing.
Yeah, if you're reading along and you have guesses about what's happening, absolutely comment those.
Yeah. What do you think the secret is, and do you have evidence for it? Or just a wild guess? I kind of want to hear the craziest thing you can come up with.
I think for the discussion question, we know Songwoo has a cross-dressing kink. What other kinks do you think he has? I bet he has some really wild ones, huh?
He probably has some really weird ones.
Some really weird shit.
And I'd love to hear your guesses.
Go ahead and do it for both of them if you feel like it. Tell me what you think the cop's kink is.
Oh, yeah. He's definitely got some weird ones.
Give me a list.
A comprehensive list.
A comprehensive list. Remember that fucking Diabolic Lovers post with the kinks?
Oh, God. One of them was like a piss kink.
That wasn't even the worst one on there.
No, it wasn't. But that's the one I remember.
I think the lactation one was the worst one. No, actually eating her period blood may have been the worst one.
Oh, yeah, that one was pretty bad. Who was that one?
I don't remember.
Because I think I want to say the piss kink was Ayato, but I might be wrong. Because I keep picturing blonde hair. So, who knows? Anyway, see you next month or whatever.
See you next time, baby. Yeah.